Greetings. Welcome to Safe Space Talks Mind Mastery one more time and again. And I'm your host, Nigeria Anderson, your good friend, your good girlfriend. And today I might be ranting a little bit just because the subject matter, as you see, is just so disturbing. And, here at Safe Space Talks, we talk about things that traumatize us, trigger us. We talk about maintaining our sanity after having and experiencing a traumatic event. And I also want to always definitely conversate about things that can cause us to just have anxiety and just, trigger us or cause a traumatic effect. And this is one. And I'm talking about, and we're in domestic violence month, and uh, October is known for that. I think is domestic awareness, domestic violence awareness week. But the way things are going left and right, it's domestic violence year. Okay, and it starts from the top. I said it always starts from the top. So we are grateful as Christians to have Jesus. Can we just say thank God for Jesus? I'm not sure how people are making it. It's such a good time to be saved. And if you want to be saved, surely reach out to me. That I do that too. We do that over here. We want you to be saved. And if you're not saved, because I talk to everybody, there's always hope. Okay. So visual abuse. Let me tell you what's going on. Visual abuse is unwanted or non-consensual visual contact that causes distress, discomfort, or creates a hostile environment. This includes unwelcome visual contact that is offensive or intimidating. All of these are trauma related. It can be at the workplace, school, church. Example, at work and school, the shootings or watching someone die right in front of you. Public spaces, maybe someone is exposing themselves or on social or even recently on social media, people are going live and doing some horrific things. And, who wants to see that? You're scrolling through your timeline and you're witnessing something visual that's not, remember, unwanted. I didn't want to see that. All right. Non-consensual. Get that off my page. All right. So now the thing is, AI is recreating images of loved ones who have passed away. They are recreating hate messages and hate crimes. They are creating signs of hate. And these are examples of visual abuse. The displaying of inappropriate images through AI. This is going to be my topic for today. I'm just going on AI today. But as you know, it's clear what visual abuse is. I tell y'all, this, we it's every time you turn around it's something, and I'm so thankful for you guys clicking on and joining me so we can have the discussion, so I can keep you up on information. I'm gonna hold on to that. I be dropping gems here. Told you about the healthcare issue. I told you about the celebrity situation. Now I'm going to talk about the AI situation. And, there's some things going on. And we just going to have to talk about it because everything is not for everybody, but everybody thinks everything is for everybody. And it's sad. And there's no moral fiber. There's no one who says, you know what, maybe you shouldn't do that. Okay. Okay. So let me just say, I was recently visually abused. Let me tell you something. I clicked on an image that portrayed itself to be one thing, and it turned out to be another thing using AI. Now, I don't know if this has happened to you. If it has happened to you, put in the chat. Happened to me too, girl. Happened to me too. It was a photo of the great late Curtis Mayfield, whose music I so enjoy and was looking forward to hearing his smooth grooves while I worked. It was late. I was like, let me throw on a little Curtis Mayfield as some background music while I do my work. So I click on it, I'm working, and then all of a sudden I heard a voice, and I was like, that voice is not Curtis Mayfield. But it was a Caucasian person who used his photo to promote their music. I was livid, offended, and angered at the false trickery that this person, this individual, had done. I mean, this is just a little too much. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Remember to subscribe, share, and like. Safe Space Talks Mind Mastery is here to discuss topics that affect us and may cause trauma. And we speak on ways to maintain after suffering through a traumatic experience. And like this topic today, trying to avoid, prevent, and protect ourselves from having unwanted trauma. Shoot. So make sure you watch previous video shows you may have missed, and I pray those shows will be a blessing, just like I pray this show will be a blessing. And I'm here. And if you need me, you email me at safespacetalks@gmail.com. We have professionals, therapists, doctors, anything you need. We're a good resource. People have used us. I may have some videos of some testimonies coming up soon. But, for privacy's sake, that's why we call it safe space. If they want to, fine. If not, it's okay. Trust me, we're doing the work. All right. Now, I have been through a great deal my own self. So I'm not on here just trying to be famous or trying to get clicks. That's why none of the pictures have some of the things that you see when you click on and you're like, oh, snap. Yeah, I don't promote because either you're interested through the topic matter or you're not. And, it's neither here nor there. But I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Please comment. Like I said, share, like, do all of that stuff. Because I forget to say it. So I'm trying to repeat it. Because when I just want to talk, I just want to get things out. And then, they tell me, you got to say that. You got to get more clicks and to get more likes. And, to me, I'm old school. I'm over 50. So it's like, look, either you like it or you don't. I don't know. So listen, what's tripping me out right now is we're in October. November is right around the corner. And guess what? I'll be on vacation. I feel like I just came back. And remember the new times. We're here from March to June and from September to November. And the time is just going by fast. And it's pretty good because when I was doing it longer, I was getting drained because it's hard to talk about these things sometimes because, whatever. So to help me do what I do, I just want you to know that it is so important to me that you share the information. Even if you don't share the video, because I know I'm not the best at this, I'm just not. But if there's information, feel free to be like, I heard this and share it. Okay? Okay. Now, visual abuse. It is at an all-time high. because most people scroll on their feeds, never knowing what might pop up. There are some things you can do about these things, such as when these things pop up on your feed, report it. Okay. I think at one time there were the three little dots, and it would say on YouTube, don't put this, like, I don't like these types of videos. So do that. These are things you can put in place to make sure that they don't keep popping up. Now, remember, I told you, see, this is what I be putting y'all on. I be letting y'all know what they doing, right? I be, you know who they are, right? I be letting you know what they are doing. But, you know, I, they, right? They are in control of the algorithm. Go back and look at that video where I talked about the algorithm, right? Because we keep thinking we in charge of something and we're not. And the president reminds us, and the legal system and the judicial system reminds us how we are just not in control of nada, nothing, you know. Stay focused, Nigeria. Don't say too much. Stay focused. I got to talk to myself. Remember, conscious commands. Conscious commands. That I just got to say it. So take that time out to do that so that you won't get these pop-ups, because I want you all to stop ignoring things that you feel are small or no big deal. You know, that was a no big deal. Because in today's society, everything is a big deal. Okay. And you want to protect your eye gates. All right. There was a time where this wasn't an issue. But we're in different times, and you are going to have to protect yourself because there's a lot of deception going on. Lots of deception. I mean, at this point, what they're doing, you can't even tell if it's real or it's not. And I'll keep saying it, and I'm going to say it one more time. They are after your mind. Okay. Stop ignoring what images are being flashed before you. I'm telling you, you're going to have to pay attention. And like I said, don't just scroll past it and act like, oh, snap, and then keep going. No, report it. Now, let me share something. I remember being on Facebook, and it's October. It's my nephew, my late nephew, Brandon's birthday coming up. And he passed away. And I remember being on Facebook, and a photo of him in the casket popped up on my feed. I almost lost it. I was visually abused. I could not believe what I was seeing. I mean, I was still grieving. And now I see my nephew laying in the casket again. It's kind of visual stuff you don't want to see. I started tearing up as my emotions overwhelmed me, and anger that someone would do that. And I wrote, I was like, this is his aunt. Take that photo down now. Now, that was just a photo, and the person, did take the photo down. I was grateful because, talking about it and just remembering that photo, just was triggering, very triggering. Okay. And it's starting to happen, but it is more damaging to what's happening to people who lost loved ones. AI videos of dead celebrities are horrifying many of their family members. Now, what happened to me was just a photo. With AI, they are using photos to show the dead walking, talking, eating, having fun, or making jokes, recreating speeches, etc. It was reported that Eliasha Shabazz didn't want to look at a AI generated video of her father, Malcolm X, a seemingly realistic clip made by OpenAI's new video maker showing her father, the legendary civil rights activist, making crude jokes, wrestling with the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., and I dare not repeat the additional foolishness that was displayed. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? She's scrolling. I'm getting all jacked up over this. She's scrolling and then she got to see those images, like those live moving images of her father doing this. And what's crazy is so uncanny, and it is so real. The reanimating of the deceased loved one that you're taken back. Now, I know there are people who they wouldn't mind that. They're doing this. This is like real stuff. Like people want that. There's some people who want that. Okay. I mean, I spoke in the previous video about how a woman had her dead son in his room for months. She didn't want to bury him. She just wanted him in the room. And I think it was in California because they allowed that. To my family, please put me in the ground. Just put me in the ground. Don't be doing none of this. Okay. It's crazy. Just and I know maybe some cultures that's your thing. It's not my thing, and it's not Mrs. Shabazz's thing. We not down for that. Okay, that like I know people want to do that, but I come from the family of let the dead be dead. Okay, they are gone. Let them be gone, and we'll see each other again in heaven if they're saved, if we've traveled the same path together. Ta-da. But that now bringing back, no, 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 no. So I don't want to see my loved one reanimated. If you want to see your loved one reanimated, put it in the chat. I don't. I don't. If you do, say yes. If you don't, say no. It is horrifying indeed. It is to me, this is visual abuse. That's what I'm saying. And it is triggering. So I need rules and regulations put in place at a minimum. And here's what they're saying they are willing to do.
Talent agencies, including CAA, UTA, and WME, raised immediate concerns about how their famous clients' likenesses, films, and characters may be used in these Sora-generated videos. And on Monday, the Motion Picture Association issued a statement saying in part, quote, OpenAI needs to take immediate and decisive action to address this issue. Well-established copyright law safeguards the rights of creators and applies here.
Well, thank God, Hollywood, let me tell y'all something, right? Y'all not going to steal Hollywood's money using Hollywood. Like, nah, y'all not going to do that. Okay. So kudos to Hollywood trying to stop this thing. Because, they'll be out of business if they allow it. So everything is money. Anyway, and we've seen it with Tupac Shakur. We've seen it with Michael Jackson and others. I mean, they were talking about doing concerts at one time, And I believe that was a money grab. When they wanted to do it, it was fine. But, when other people do it, it ain't fine, right? So, more visual abuse by way of AI. One video showed police body cam footage of Whitney Houston looking intoxicated. What are we doing? And in some clips, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. makes monkey noises during his I Have a Dream speech. Why? Why would you recreate this stuff? And we know who's doing it. I mean, it's just out of control. But the most damaging one was Kobe Bryant flies aboard a helicopter mirroring the crash that killed him and his daughter in 2020. What the heck is going on? Why wasn't the NBA outraged? They need to be outraged. I need to go find that clip. Sue, go. That is, you have no compassion for the family that you would do something. It's not funny. These things aren't funny. All right, all right. Such visuals are traumatic and triggering to the family that's left grieving. Why would you do that? How insensitive. How insensitive have we become? Where is the humane? Where are this? See, you know what? I just got it. This is why they making robots. Because y'all have lost your humanity. And they like, at least we can program these robots to have some compassion and sympathy and work hard and not complain. This is why. But the Bible is clear. The heart of man is wicked all the day long. Who can know it? And this is the evidence. This is the evidence of the wicked heart of man. All right, let me calm myself. Now, they talked to OpenAI, and OpenAI said the text to video tool would depict real people only with their consent, but it exempt historical figures. Why would you do that? How would you exempt historical figures? Okay. Allowing anyone, when they exempt the historical figures and celebrities and political leaders, it then allows anyone to make fake videos resurrecting public figures, including Jesus. I mean, it is really out of control. And it has upset me. And I guess because before all of this, I had to deal with, you know, such a photo, just a photo. All right. You can't even die now. You just can't even die and rest in peace. It's no more. Like, you can't even be dead. Like, they just want to make you alive. I don't know. All right, the perversion, it just never stops. Image based sexual abuse, IBSA. This again includes non consensual sharing or creating sexual images such as deep fake, pornography, revenge porn, secret recordings like the Shannon Sharp, manipulating uh, images like what we were talking about with AI. IBSA is increasingly common in digital spaces and can have devastating emotional consequences. Just this is what we're talking about. Being just, watching this online in real time. So, examples: leaked sex tapes like Ray J and R. Kelly, um, the couple that the co-workers, I'm sorry, the co-workers that was caught on the big Tron that made all this news of them hugging and watching the game or something and running after they saw their photo on the surveillance on the big Tron, right? That was visual abuse. They saw themselves and then they just ran. I don't know the history and I didn't follow up on that. But who's at risk is our youth. Our youth are at risk with this because, they're recording their sexual behavior. They're threatening the partner. If you don't give me money, if you don't do this, I'll put it online. And, they're doing it without the person's knowledge. So, parents, please allow your child to come to you and say, I messed up, but this is what's happening to me. I know you're going to be angry, but they're going to need your help. Okay? I know, I know. But we all was young one time or another, and they need your help, not your fuss. Because right now, we got to band together. Okay? We're going to have to band together. We need unity. So, yelling and being upset is not going to work. Just, give them the talk, put them on punishment, but let's address the matter. So your child's situation ain't online everywhere. Okay? And make time to just speak with your children. Find out what's going on with them. Matter of fact, make this a topic. Are you visually abused on social media? Ask them and see what they say. If they say, "What do you mean?" Say, "I hear they have live shootings and sex acts." If you don't want to go that deep, just say, "What do you think about the reanimated photos of celebrities and the jokes and stuff? Do you think that's cool? You don't think that's cool? Some kids may be like, have a real conversation. Say, yes, that's disturbing to me. No, that's not disturbing to me, but we want to afford them that outlet. So talk to your children, find out if they're visually abused. Are they seeing porn? Child, it's so much going on. I can't talk about Jesus, but you can have half naked people with the JJs out and everything out, hanging loose and swinging and everything. And that don't get taken off. But let me keep saying Jesus is Lord. And boy, I tell you, that whole Instagram gone. Anyway, yeah, make that something that is a conversation at your house and ask them what they think about it. And families, we all have to reconnect. We have to have time off screen, even adults. I mean, Jesus, put the phone down. At my house, we don't sit at the table with them phones. Them phones be in the room. We're not getting up to go answer no phone. We're going to talk to the person after we finish eating. Um, Absolutely no phones at the table. Sundays in my house, there's no secular TV. We only watch inspirational movies, and that's it. Everything has to be faith based to watch on TV on Sundays. See? Have some standards. Because if you don't have standards against what's happening, you will fall into the trap they have planned for you. Because they got plans for us, honey. They been had them, but now it's just woo wee. So yeah, and remember, in the last days, deception will be in your everyday. That's Bible. In the last days, deception. So while you're here and we have all the information and data, let's be wise not to be deceived, because wisdom is the only thing that's going to protect you in this season. Listen, that's my time. I love me some y'all. I'm here every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And wow, what do we have? Like maybe two more shows. So you only gotta see me maybe two more times. Oh, y'all not gonna miss me, but it's all right. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.